Thanks for watching. I'm Margot Kimberg, and this is In the Spotlight, a closer look at a crime novel. Crime novels that tell the story from different perspectives and in different ways, letters, narratives, and so forth, can keep the reader's interest and give the reader an interesting perspective on the plot. Let's take a look at a novel like that today and turn the spotlight on Catherine Ryan Howard's The Nothing Man. Eve Black is a newly successful author whose book, The Nothing Man, is the story of an attack on her and her family that left everyone dead but her. The killer was dubbed the Nothing Man because there was no obvious evidence as to who it was. No one saw the man come or go, and he seems to have slipped into obscurity. Even Eve, who was there at the time of the attack, doesn't really remember and can't really identify the man. She was 12 at the time, so her memories are that of a child. Eve's book has gotten popular, and Eve goes on tour to talk about it and meet readers. As you can imagine, that's extremely difficult for her. She's hoping, though, that by writing this book and going on tour, she can do her part to help find the man responsible for the killings. She's also hoping to lay aside some of her ghosts. When security guard Jim Doyle starts reading the book, he realizes that Eve and her book could very well catch the Nothing Man. Doyle can't allow that to happen because he is the Nothing Man. He's not just responsible for the deaths of Eve's family members, but also for the deaths of other victims as well. Now, he's going to have to stop Eve before the truth about him comes out. As the story goes on, we follow Eve as she plans her visit to a bookshop not far from where Doyle lives. We also read parts of her memoir, so we see the events that led up to the murders in her family. Jim Doyle's story is also told. We follow along as he learns about and reads the book, finds out where Eve will be meeting readers, and lays his plans. We also learn his perspective on the murders. Eve knows she may be playing a dangerous game, but she wants to catch her family's killer. Doyle knows he's taking a risk, but he must stop Eve before she stops him. So what are the elements in this story? What are the elements that keep it together and moving along? Well, there are elements of the thriller in this novel, especially as we see how Eve Black and Jim Doyle head towards a possible confrontation. The pace is in place thriller-like, and Eve is in clear danger. The novel is also, though, about grief and loss. It tells the story of what it's like to survive when others have died, and explores the guilt, anger, and pain that goes with that. In fact, that's why Eve writes the book in the first place, to honor her family and pay respect to the others who have died. But lest you think the book is entirely bleak, there's also a thread of hope and life in the novel. In a sense, there's also an element of the whodunit here. Eve doesn't know who the Nothing Man is, and does what she can to find out. When she learns that guarded detective Edward Haley investigated the Nothing Man, she seeks out his expertise. While he's not dysfunctional, Haley is haunted by the case and determined to catch the Nothing Man. Together, they try to find out the truth. Readers know who the Nothing Man is, but even Haley don't, at least at first. Setting also comes into this novel. The story takes place mostly in Dublin, in the area where the Nothing Man committed the murders, and there is some sense of the city in the novel. The Nothing Man is a story of a group of killings and the shattering consequences for family members. It features an author who is using her writing to heal, a dedicated detective who wants to solve a case that haunts him, and a killer who's determined not to get caught. This has been In the Spotlight. I'm Margot Kimberg. Thanks for watching.